From BS and Beer Media, it's Top of the Bleachers with Jason and Tucker.
Handoff, Smith coming right, trying to outrun the coverage, makes a cut, gets it. Oh, he's still going all the way! He's going to score! He's got the ball!
Let's see what the guys are talking about today.
Yo, what's up? Welcome into Top of the Bleachers. We are live. What is January 13th? Happy belated birthday yesterday, Tucker.
Thank you.
Today, we're going to talk some NFL football, and then at the very end, we'll talk about some basketball stuff. But before we do,
make sure and hit that like and subscribe. Follow us on X at the Bleacher Pod. Join the Discord. All that other stuff we're asking you to do. Do all that stuff.
yeah.
I feel like we're asking you to do way too much. Just watch the show. I think is pretty much the main thing you got to do.
Hit that like every now and then. We'd appreciate that. But
yeah,
you don't have to. No pressure. No pressure.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to watch and not voice an opinion at all, I mean, I guess you can be all, sissy like that. If that's what's
Well, happy Monday. You got the clear roads yet down there? Everything cleared off?
Oh, yeah. Everything was cleared off Saturday. The only bad part was the neighborhoods and the parking lots, and they're all cleared off today.
Yeah.
I got maybe 3 patches of snow left in my backyard, but the sun's beating down. It'll be gone pretty soon.
Gotcha, yeah. Our driveway is in the shade a lot, so it had some stuff that took a long time for it to get over.
It got up to a whopping 40 degrees today, man. It was like I thought about putting my shorts on, going out and laying by the pool. It was so warm out.
Well, I had my shorts on when I went outside a while ago, but I didn't lay by no pool.
Yeah.
Oh man. So anything you want to talk about before we get into some news and stuff?
No, I think most of what I want to talk about, you're going to have a slide for, and it's just all the anger is going to come at the end of the show, I'm pretty sure. But
okay. All right, let's just jump right in then. Let me share this right quick. And let me get my buttons here. Boom. All right, first up, man, look at this. Pittsburgh. Largest comeback in NCAA women's basketball history. I wanted to show you this before we get into some football stuff, but look at this comeback, man. 46-14, almost at the half there.
So they only let them score 13 points in the second half. They only got 13 points up in the second half. That is some killer defense right there.
Well, Pitt only had 14 in the first. So,
man, that one's got to hurt. That one's got to hurt if you're SMU.
Yeah, if you're up by 30 and then lose by like 13.
Yeah, that's
holy
tough.
Moly. That's a 43-point swing. That's crazy.
I take it from the pictures that this was in Pitt.
It must have been, yeah. Yeah.
Man, I bet you them 17 people were going crazy.
I bet so. Anyway, I was going to show you that right quick, and then we'll talk about this here. Oh, Rabel got the job at New England.
Yeah, I saw this, man.
This was we kind of figured this.
Is this a good hire?
Well, he had Tennessee rolling there for a couple of years, but never
but they
got
didn't
over the hump.
They never got over the hump. I'm not sure they ever made the playoffs. This year was terrible for the Titans.
Yeah, he wasn't there though, I don't think.
Oh, Vrabel wasn't there?
I don't think so.
Did he already get fired from that job? So he's been out for a year.
I want to say so. I don't know. Let me look this up before I tell you that.
I mean, I know that he's a New England guy. I know that he.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're hoping to catch lightning in a bottle here, hoping that since he was coached by Belichick and since he, he's going to come in and he's just going to turn the franchise back around and everything. But I don't know. I kind of feel about Vrabel the way I feel about Drake May. If you ain't got the pieces, then how the hell is a coach going to help you out?
So 6 years, he went 54-45. And he was fired after the 2023 season. Last year, he worked as a consultant with the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, well, there you go. I wonder if he was one of the ones that decided they needed to pay old Deshaun Watson all that money.
No, he says he worked with some of Cleveland's younger players on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay.
I don't know.
Not a big
role. Not a big role.
I don't know if this is a good hire or not. Time will tell, but I mean, I don't feel like he's walking into the best situation. It's not like he's walking into, the Kansas City Chiefs or the Chargers or something like that. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, it's an open job for a reason, right? So,
yeah, well, I'm afraid that it's going to be open again here in about 3 years, and
it could be, very well could be.
Drake May is going to be ruined by then.
I don't know. I think he'll have a little longer of a leash since he's a Patriot man or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I don't know. Mayo was a Patriot guy too, so I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I don't
know.
Maybe they need to get away from the Patriot way, and they need to bring in something different. I mean,
I agree.
Times change after a while. Nobody runs the veer anymore for a reason.
Yeah. Anyway, they hired him in. I saw he doing his press conference a while ago, I think. So,
well, good luck to him, man. I got nothing against the guy. Super Bowl champion. Hopefully, he can turn that program around. I think the NFL is better when every team is good, not just when a handful of teams are good. So I'd kind of like to see parity all the way through the league, not just 6 teams that are there.
Everybody else.
Yeah.
I saw the same 4 AFC teams are in the playoff. The same Final Four as last year, the same Final Four this year. So
yeah, I mean, what was the regular season for?
Now the NFC is a lot different, but
well, you always have that one team that was at the bottom of the league, Washington Commanders, that end up coming up and making,
making
some noise.
Well, you got Drabel, another coaching change.
Yeah. I heard old Mike McCarthy was going to have to go find him a different job. I think the Bears are interested in him, so he might end up at the Bears.
They were interested in him, yeah. I saw something that was mutual departing. They couldn't agree on money moving forward, but I'm guessing Jerry was like, "You're taking a pay cut," and he was like, "No, I'm not." And then they were like, "Okay, well, see you later."
Well, 49-35 with 1 playoff win over 5 seasons. I'm not going to give you a raise. That's for sure.
No, I know, but they are. Their ego and all that stuff too. But yeah, so he's out.
I think there were some other factors involved. Like, it wasn't just Mike McCarthy whose contract was coming up. It was like every assistant coach that he had. So Jerry, if he was bringing Mike back, was going to, have to bring his staff back and all that. Well, if you're going to end up having to pay a whole staff anyway, why not just bring in a new staff? What's interesting is some of the names that I've heard.
Oh yeah,
been thrown out.
Oh yeah.
There's one guy that's give me Dion or give me death. I think that's kind of crazy, but whatever.
I've heard Dion's names at the top of the list.
I've heard Gruden's name. I've heard Ben Johnson's name. I've heard the guy from USC. What's his name?
Lane Kiffin? Or no, Riley.
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley. I've heard his name come up. I've heard
Lord have mercy.
The guy that there's another guy that
they better hire somebody with a crap, dude. There ain't who they gonna hire, man.
I've heard Gruden's name come up.
Nah, Gruden wants in college.
I don't think Gruden and Jerry would get along very well.
I don't think so.
I don't know why Jerry just doesn't make himself the head coach. That's what he really wants to do. Why don't you just do it?
Yeah.
Just take your 82-year-old ass down there and be the head coach for a couple of years.
Yeah, somebody asked him if he said, they asked me when I bought the team if I did this for my kids. Hell no. I did it for me. I'm going to run this team until I die.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a Jerry quote.
Well, I mean, honestly, right, as a Cowboys fan, I hate that quote. Okay. I absolutely hate that quote as a Cowboys fan. As a fellow billionaire, which I am not, but if I was and I bought an NFL team, that would kind of be my attitude too. This is my team. We're going to do it my way. If you don't like it, you can hit the bricks. You know?
Yeah. Part of what he said too was that he bought a job. That's what he said. I bought a job. Yeah, I didn't just buy the Cowboys just because.
Yeah, he doesn't have to buy a job. I mean, there is a such thing as buying it and outsourcing your job. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, McCarthy's out. Oh, by the way, I didn't really have any. Do you have any other news to talk about?
Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore was one of the names that popped up.
There's no big time.
The dude claps all the time. Was the Cowboys coach for a while. Red-headed, does commentator now.
Not Garrett. They're not bringing
Garrett. Garrett's name came up.
Oh my gosh.
There were some fans that wanted to bring Garrett back. I don't think it's going to matter. I think you can bring in whoever you want to bring in. I like the idea of Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin might be available here in a little bit, so I'd be interested in Mike Tomlin as my head coach. But I don't think it's going to matter because whoever you bring in, Jerry's going to rule over them, and when you have a little bit of success, Jerry's going to find a way to ruin it.
That's very possible. Very possible. Anyway, any other news and notes that you had before we start talking about some games?
Well, one more thing about Jerry Jones. Okay.
All right.
I always found it interesting that back when Jimmy was winning Super Bowls and we were actually relevant, I always found it interesting that after we won a ball game or when we were winning a ball game or it looked like we were about to win a ball game, Jerry would end up on the sidelines. Still does it to this day. He'll end up on the sidelines. He'll shake hands. He'll pat people on the back. You never see Jerry during a loss. Jerry never comes down to the sideline to pat people on the back during a loss. Mm. He always ends up in some back tunnel of Cowboy Stadium taking an interview somewhere. It's like, if you're going to ride with us when we're winning, you should ride with us when we're not winning. And I feel like that's always been – I've always noticed it from Jerry. I don't know if other people have, but it irritates the living hell out of me. Okay, I'm done on Jerry Jones and the Cowboys.
I've never noticed that before.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Well, I got a clip I wanted to show you. I don't know if you saw this or not, but Green Bay Packers – yesterday came into Philadelphia. I don't know if you saw this video of them coming into the stadium. Did you see this?
I didn't see a picture of them coming into the stadium, no.
All right, here you go. Let me show you this right quick. Oh, there they are. Oh, they're not done. Here comes the lineman.
It's special teams. Special teams came in.
Yeah. So Packers rolled into the Eagles yesterday and got beat up by the Eagles. They dominated this game, the whole game, really. I mean, I know they scored 10 points, but that was, I think, late before they even scored that.
It was late. It was 10-0 forever. This was probably, out of all the playoff games yesterday, this is probably the most boring. unless you're an Eagles fan, of course, and then it was wonderful and exhilarating. But for everybody else who was watching the game, this was a boring ball game. It was
a little bit.
Yeah, a couple of good runs by Barkley, but other than that, like no big, huge chunk plays, nothing awesome on defense, nothing like that. Just
he could have scored again too with like a minute left or whatever. He broke that one and slid down, but he was gone. They wasn't going to catch him if he wanted to go.
I don't have a dog in the playoffs. Matter of fact, the only close to a dog that I had in the playoffs got beat yesterday. I'm sure we'll get to it in a second, but this was kind of a boring ball game to watch.
A little bit, yeah. There's a lot of defense in the first half for sure. Like
a lot of defense. And Green Bay's defense did a great job in the first half. They did a really good job in the first half.
Yeah, it was close. Anyway, Philadelphia moves on. Then we have, let's see who else we got here. We got the Texans whooped up on the hang on.
Whooped up on the Chargers.
I messed my thing up there. Whoops. Yeah, whooped up on the Chargers. Kind of disappointed. And old Rex Ryan having to eat his words. You hear what he said?
Yeah.
He said the Chargers had a bye this week. What?
Yeah,
don't look like no bye now.
He is, for some reason, he is not a CJ Stroud guy. He does not think CJ Stroud is a elite quarterback or a good quarterback. I don't know what his problem is, but he does not like, or he's not a fan of CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud is a really good quarterback. He could be a little bit bigger, but that's not his fault. That's genetics,
Yeah.
He works with what he's got. He's a good scrambler. He's a good runner.
I mean, the Chargers were a good team, and they put it on them.
Chargers looked out of sorts yesterday. Herbert,
he threw like 4 or 5 picks, didn't he?
He had a problem distinguishing jersey colors. He kept throwing it to the wrong color jersey for I think he threw 3 of them. One of them was a tip ball, so you can't really blame a tip ball. I hit the guy in the hands, and it ends up in But the other 2 were just straight up bad reads, threw it right into traffic.
Yeah.
Again, not really a lot more explosive plays in this game, a lot more offense in this game as far as the Houston was concerned, but not really a good game, not a very competitive game. There was only really one competitive first round game.
Yeah. This one, Texans are they're sneaky good, man. I'm telling you.
If they were in the NFC, I'd have them pick to go to the Super Bowl.
No, well, I don't know if I go that far.
Dude, in the NFC, I think the Texans dominate. But the AFC is just so stacked this year, man.
Nobody beating Detroit.
I don't know about that, man. Detroit's beatable. They've been beat twice this year.
Let's see. Let me see.
That's going to be an interesting one. Goff coming back to Detroit to play the guy that replaced him, Stafford.
Yeah,
going to play Goff. It's interesting, man. It's a lot of storylines in that one.
Yep. Hang on, let me get my thing back up.
I think Stafford has pretty much dominated the games that he's played against him since so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think Rams got a good shot at beating them. I really do. Detroit's defense is, oh my gosh. Broncos come out and put 7 on the board. I'm thinking, we got us a ball game, boys. And then Josh Allen took off the coat and came out and was like, nope, this is mine.
Yep. Buffalo steamrolls the Broncos. They looked really good, man. They looked really good.
You gotta give it to Bo Nix, man. First year in the league, gets his team to the playoffs.
Let me pull up some stats here.
I think he did a good job. I mean,
Broncos, let's see. Allen went 20 for 26, 272 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He also had quite a bit rushing, didn't he?
Cook had 120 yards rushing. Josh Allen had 46 yards. 46 yards.
Yeah, one of them was down around the goal line, and they needed a a third down conversion, and man, he just put his head down and went down in there and got it. It was like he ain't scared of a concussion. Josh Allen ain't scared of getting hit.
Yeah, and then Bo went 13 for 22, 144 yards. So not a great output offensively at all for Denver all day.
No, and their first drive,
So-
I believe it was their first drive of the ball game. I mean, Broncos just looked awesome. Went down the field, stuck it in the end zone. Bo Nix looked like he was on, and that was it. That was it for the whole ball game. They were done.
Yeah, it was. Yep. I was. I thought. I mean, I thought Buffalo would win, but I thought it'd be a little more competitive. It was not. And then we had Baltimore and Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. Let me see what that score was.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't very. It wasn't real close. I don't think. Let's see here. Where is it? 28-14.
So the thing to talk about in this ball game is Mike Tomlin. There's a lot of people that say that it's time to part ways with Mike Tomlin. It's been 8 years since they made a playoff or won a playoff game.
Wow, 8 years.
8 years since they've won a playoff game.
Wow, that's wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Chuck Knowles, the longest Chuck Knowles ever went was 4 seasons without winning a playoff game. The longest Bill Cowher ever went was 3 seasons without winning a playoff game. And I like Mike Tomlin. I think he's a good coach. Is he a great coach? I don't know. I mean, won Super Bowl, had Ben Roethlisberger. Did Ben only win 1? I think they went to 2, but I think they only won 1.
I think they only won 1. I think
he went to 2 though. I'm not sure if that's right or not.
I think so because Arizona beat him at the end of regulation. Kurt Warner.
Again, man.
No, I don't know.
Hard for me to remember last week.
I know. I'm horrible at history. I know. Let me see here. I got a full list here. Let's see. What year was that? Steelers won it in 75. Let's see.
That's a little too far back.
All right. Let's see. What was I looking up?
Steelers.
Let's see here.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay. So they lost to Green Bay in 2010. They haven't been back to the Super Bowl since then.
They won 1 though, didn't they? Didn't Big Ben win 1?
Yes, the year before they beat Arizona.
Okay.
The next year, no, it wasn't the next year. 2 years later, they lost to Green Bay. So
he's been to 1 Super Bowl, he's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won 1 Super Bowl. It's been 8 years.
It's been to 3.
Oh, he's been to 3.
Yeah, they won 1 in 2006.
Well, there you go. He's won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah. He was there by then, right?
Yeah, I think so. That might have been. Was that Cowher's last year?
Was that his rookie year?
I don't know.
No, his rookie year they didn't make it because they went like 15-1 or something crazy. Anyway, there's your Steelers history.
So the Rooney family is well known for being, very loyal.
Yeah.
And I think they have probably one of the better organizations in the NFL as far as how it's ran, front office, bringing in coaches, having tenured coaches, drafting good players. They do well in free agency. But for some reason, it's been 8 years since they've won a playoff game. And a lot of this has got to do with quarterback play. I mean, this year, Tomlin's working with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields and trying to figure out who should play for him. And they're carbon copies of the same quarterback. I mean, Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, other than size, they're pretty much the same quarterback.
somewhat. Fields, I think, a better runner.
He's bigger and younger. Of course, he's a better runner,
Yeah.
And with Wilson, you get the experience. I don't know. I don't know if it's time to part ways with Mike Tomlin, but that is the scuttlebutt going around right now.
Yeah.
If the Rooney family does move on from Mike Tomlin, the next question, there's two questions that come up. One is, who do you get to replace Mike Tomlin? Because apparently the Rooneys like to hire somebody for the future. They don't just hire somebody for one season. And then where does Mike Tomlin go? Because I believe there's 25 teams out there that would want a Mike Tomlin. So
you would
I wouldn't mind seeing him in Cowboys gear myself, but I don't know if that's feasible.
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something, man.
I can't hardly picture him in blue and silver.
I can't picture him in anything but Steelers garb because he's been there so long.
I know.
It's like Jeff Fisher with the Titans. Who else is Jeff Fisher going to coach for? He's got to coach for the Titans. He's been a Titan for as long as I could remember.
Yeah. Anyway, Baltimore gets a dub, moves on. They're my Super Bowl pick at preseason, so I'm still riding with them guys.
Well, they look good, man. They looked really good. Second half, they pretty much just fed Henry the ball, and I mean, you got the best quarterback in the NFL, dude.
Yep.
What you've got is you've got a running back who can throw the football. Is what you got. You have a running back that can throw the football well and accurate. But when he decides to run, you ain't tackling this dude.
No, not easily.
No,
for sure.
Heck no, man. He's going to get to your second level almost every time. It's tough. You have to design a defense where you have a linebacker or a cornerback that does nothing but spy the QB. You can't even put him into pass protection. He has to spy the QB.
Yeah, and even then, that's a mismatch.
Yes. Anybody you put up against him's a mismatch.
Yeah, for sure.
He's amazing when he decides to run. So you got the two best running backs in football. You got Derrick Henry and you got Lamar Jackson, and then Lamar can also throw the ball. So that's not fair at all.
Right. I agree, man. Baltimore looks good, and they're moving on. The other game we had was this one, man. Them Bucks, man.
Here's my dark horse right here. Here's my dark horse. I was rolling with the Bucks. I was rolling with Baker. At the beginning of the season, I was telling people that I thought it would come down to Washington and the Eagles. I was talking about the division or the conference, or whatever. I wasn't talking about going to the Super Bowl, but it actually could end up being Washington against the Eagles for the Super Bowl.
Could be.
Because Washington's going to have to face Detroit next.
Yes.
No. Well, if LA doesn't beat Detroit, they face
Detroit. There's that one's already set actually. The winner of this game tonight will play Philly.
We'll play Philly.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. The other matches were set. I got a thing that shows them all here in a minute.
Okay. All right. But yeah, Commanders played well. Bucks played well. This was probably the most entertaining game of the playoffs so far.
This is freaking heartbreaking, bro.
Dude,
heartbreaking.
I felt bad for Baker. Baker worked his butt off. It just that last drive with about 4 minutes left, they ended up having to punt the ball. And I was like, well, you may not get the ball back. And they didn't. They got the ball back.
Yeah.
They
had a couple minutes. They had I forget, it's like 2 minutes left, I think, or something like that. But then, and it's 20-20. All you got to do is drive down there, kick the field goal, win the game. What do? Fumble. Freaking can't even make a handoff to the running back properly.
But that was like
that
was like the third time in the game that they had a problem with the center exchange and the handoff. Like, it's not something that
we're in the playoffs now, man. This ain't,
I know you got to have
training camp no more. Yeah.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Stupid mistakes end up costing you in the playoffs.
Yeah, it did. Totally did right there. Lost the game for him.
And Baker did so well with the Bucks this year. He battled through all the injuries that they had. He kept them in the playoff hunt. He makes the playoffs, and then a botch snap. It's the Tony Romo thing. We just got to kick a field goal, and then he fumbles the snap. Yeah.
I saw a video on that one a couple of days ago. Actually,
those are the videos I always scroll past as fast as I can.
And then tonight we got the Rams Vikings game. Tonight should be a good one. I don't know. Probably Vikings probably gonna take this one, but I don't know. Rams, they're feisty.
Yeah, don't count out the Rams, man.
I like their offense.
Yeah, Sean McVay is pretty much. He's shown that he's a good coach. He can make adjustments. They got a good quarterback. They got a couple of good key pieces on offense. Their defense is not bad. I mean, it's not the same since what's his name left, but
Aaron Donald retired. Yeah, that was a big loss for their D line for sure. That guy's Hall of Famer.
That's a big loss for any team.
Absolutely. Yep.
So their defense is decent. I wouldn't count out the Rams. I think the Vikings probably win this ball game, but I wouldn't count the Rams out.
Let me see who the favorite is here. Let's see what. Oh, I'm sure the Vikings are favored, but how much? 2.5 points. That's not very much. Considering, they got to go to the Rams. Oh, okay.
They got to go to LA, I believe. Yeah.
Well, the Vikings are 14-3, 6-2
because I think
on the road.
Because I think they had to move the game to somewhere else because of the Palisade fires.
I know they were talking about it. Did they actually do that?
I thought they did, but they might. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, this game's on tonight. What does it say? What time it starts? 6 o'clock or 5 Pacific. What time is that? It's 7.
6 p.m. Yeah, 5 p.m. Pacific. 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. Who the hell goes by Mountain Standard?
The Rams. Well, they're out on the West Coast there.
Put some Central Times up there, people.
I can't say much. I live on Pacific time most of the time, so
because of your job.
Yeah, so I can't say that doesn't throw me off.
That throws me off.
Pacific time, yeah.
I've been living on Central my entire life, man. Central.
Yeah, I know. I was in the East for a while, and that kind of threw me off. And then working in the East, right? Or no, living in the East, working in the Pacific. That was really mind blowing.
I always thought
right at first, anyway.
The people on the West Coast must think that the people in the Southeast Conference are crazy because they start playing football at 9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
I know it. Anyway, so here's your matchups for next weekend. You got Texans and Chiefs, and Washington and Detroit. That's on Saturday. And then, like I said, the winner of the game tonight play at Philly, and then Baltimore, Buffalo. Which, man, these freaking Chiefs are so stinking lucky, bro. I feel the two teams out of the 4 teams left, right? Out of these 4, the 2 teams that have a really good shot at beating them have to play each other.
Yeah, and this is just my personal opinion, and don't go to Sarkican and make a bet on this, but I would say that the winner of your Baltimore Bills game will go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC.
That's bold.
I just think that the Chiefs have been living on borrowed time, man. They've had so many close games this year where they pulled it out that I just feel like that luck's going to run out at some point.
You would think.
I know that the NFL wants them to three-peat, okay? Everybody knows that the NFL wants them to three-peat, all right? Everybody thinks that if Patrick Mahomes is not in the Super Bowl, that it's going to be a lost cause or whatever. But, man, don't.
I think Josh Allen needs to get there. I think Lamar needs to get there.
I don't care if the Kansas City makes the Super Bowl, just as long as they get there fairly and there's not 15 different calls to where I'm like, what? Bull crap,
Yeah.
And I feel like you see that a lot in Kansas City games. Like, that's just my opinion.
Seems
Plus,
like it's never on them.
I kind of like seeing Patrick Mahomes lose because he's such a tit when he loses that it's kind of entertaining.
Yeah, he's a kind of a crybaby, ain't he?
Yeah. Is that misogynistic to call somebody a tit?
No. Never heard anybody called that before, I don't guess.
A tit?
Yeah, I never heard him called that specifically.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
I heard, you're being a boob. You know what I mean? Stop being a boob.
No, as a tit, whatever. Man. I think I don't know. I've always heard, don't be such a tit.
I never heard that. So, let's see here. Hang on a second. I got some inside scoop for you. Hang on a minute.
All right.
Let's see what this is. Oh, we got another recruit. Never mind.
Oh,
another commitment. Anyway, here's your schedule for next weekend. Let me pull up my slide thing here. Should be some good games. We'll see what happens tonight to get the final matchups. But right now, still my preseason pick still alive. So I don't know who's your preseason pick, Dallas.
I don't think I picked one. I mean, I'm always hopeful Dallas wins the Super Bowl, but
you probably did. You homer.
I have a lot of hope at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
This year, my hope was like dashed early. We went to New Orleans and got beat by 40 in like the first game of the year. And I was like, well, I guess we can kiss some Super Bowl dreams goodbye.
Man, speaking of losing hope, kissing dreams goodbye.
You're about to talk about the Arkansas Razorback.
Oh, man. Another loss, man. 0-3 in the conference to start, and just ugly, man. Just ugly. Here's your stats. Again, these guys, man, again, John L, 0 for 8. Billy Richmond, 0 for 1. Big Z, 0 for 2. Like, these guys got to start helping and contributing and making shots, man. How do you get 35 free throws? They can't shoot, bro. They suck. It's horrible. And Coach Cal's no help, man. You watch his interviews, he's no help. He says the same crap over and over and over and over. I gotta do a better job. I gotta lead them. I gotta teach them how to win. It's freaking January.
Oh, the one that really got me on this one was, I'm so focused. I don't even know who we play next or what day we play on.
He said that before too.
I'm pretty effing focused on the Arkansas Razorbacks, and I can tell you exactly when we play, what time we play, who we're playing, where we're playing. Okay?
You got more than us, I guess.
I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying my absolute hardest to not become one of those guys that's like, why'd we hire this dude? I hated him when he was at Kentucky. Why did we bring this crap here? I'm trying not to be one of those dudes. Okay.
Yeah.
He had to rebuild the whole team. He only had one kid left. I get that.
Never went 0-3. He hasn't gone 0-3 at the start of conference play since 1989 or something like that at UMass.
And tell me he won the national championship that year. Okay.
No, I don't think so. No, that was first year. His first year there. I will say that. Year 1 at UMass.
And I would accept all these excuses as far as like he had to build a team and he only had one kid left and all that stuff. But with the transfer portal, that's pretty much what you got to do every year. And Cal has been recruiting freshmen for one and done since the early 90s. So I don't really buy this. I don't really buy that excuse. Okay.
I don't either.
Now, at some point, all right, first of all, John L. Davis is a bust, okay? He come in, he was supposed to help us score points. He shot 40% last year. The next time I hear a commentator tell me, oh, well, he shot 40% last year, I'm going to reach through the TV and choke him to death because he's not doing it this year, okay? And last year don't help me out any, okay?
Yeah.
Now, they did deal with some injuries going through their preseason schedule. I get that. They have been battling some stuff, but there is no chemistry on this team whatsoever. I did notice that in this ball game that he set Boogie on the bench for a while and let DJ Wagner run the point for a while. And I feel like things were moving a little bit better to the point that when Boogie did come in, DJ kept bringing the ball out and Boogie was playing off the ball.
I didn't notice that too. I noticed Boogie was off ball a little bit.
So I don't mind that because if you're going to play in the NBA, you need to learn how to play without the ball because, I mean, you got to, if you're Steph Curry, if you're Kyrie Irving, you got to run through some screens. You got to, and he had a beautiful play where he did look like Kyrie. He got a guy on his back and kept him on his back as he was moving towards the basket and then shot a little floater. Probably should have got a foul. Matter of fact, he might have got a foul. Missed his free throw probably. He has moments like Boogie has moments where he looks awesome. DJ has moments where he looks awesome. Trevin has moments where he looks awesome. John L. Davis has not produced at all. He had one half against Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Where he did really well and then he disappeared in the second half. Yep. John L. is a bust. If I'm going to play you 20 minutes and you're going to be my shot guy, then I need you to actually make your shots.
Some things that Cal did say I kind of agree with. He did say they may have to play the bigger lineup more often. I don't know what he meant by that, but I assume by that he means Boogie and DJ, Adu, Trevin, and Adu. That's what I'm assuming it means by that.
The lineup that I like,
but that's the problem, dude. If you play Adu and Trevin at the same time, now you only have Big Z left in your front court. That's the only guy you got left to sub for either one.
Well, he only needs 9. Didn't he tell us he only needed 9? That's the reason why he wasn't picking up another.
Well, he needs another one.
And here's another thing. Let's say you have 15 dudes on your bench. Say you go out and you get you 15 dudes. Doesn't that make your practices and your scrimmages better than playing your 5 against your scrubs? I mean, if you had 15 dudes, that's going to help you in practice. It's going to help you get better. This whole thing is starting to unravel, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. We got LSU. We got to go to LSU. We got to go to Missouri before we come back home. I feel
like home matters.
Yeah, home apparently does, and that's another disappointing thing. Like, I could have you could have heard a crowd too. You could have heard a pin drop in Bud Walton,
and we had a good crowd for that game too.
And they sat on their hands most of the ball game. It was disappointing.
It is. I've heard guys talk about this too. Some of the Arkansas media guys have been talking about this, where the atmosphere at the games and stuff like that. They don't do like they play the same old boring music. They don't get anything to hype the crowd up. The student section, students don't get in for free anymore. Like they used to sit. If you were a student, you could get into the game and they would fill up the student section and all that stuff. Nah, bro, that costs money now.
Well,
and
let me tell you
and
something.
they ain't coming. They're not coming.
Let me tell you something. 0-3 in SEC play. Maybe you should make every ticket free.
Maybe, but they ain't. They done sold them all out. That's another problem I have with it, though. So they sold out all these season tickets, and these people aren't going to the games. You know,
Well,
if you're
that
going to
was
buy a season ticket, plan on being at the majority of the games. If you're not going to go to every game, don't buy a season ticket.
Or if you buy season tickets, make sure that somebody's sitting in your seat when you're not. Okay. If you can't go, give it to somebody who is going to go. All right.
I agree. I know, man. And they got ways of doing that. Like even the university has a thing where if you have tickets and you want to get rid of them or give them away, here's where you go. So
it's very frustrating as a Hog fan.
Yeah.
I heard a couple of guys talking about this, and at first I was like, well, I think that's a little crazy, but the more I think about it, maybe it's a valid point. If Calipari was still at Kentucky and he had the record that he had now, and he had started out 0-3 in Kentucky, the media and everything would still be talking about him as a bubble team. Okay. Because so I wonder how much did the brand of Kentucky carry Calipari? Like if Calipari was at Louisville and he started off with this, they would be wondering if he was going to make the tournament or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so how much did the brand of Kentucky carry Calipari? And I'm hoping as a Hog fan that it wasn't very much. But the more I start seeing the play on the court, I'm starting to wonder if maybe it was the Kentucky brand that got him into all those all those NCAA tournaments.
Well, I mean, he's won 800 or something games, so you still got to win. Yeah, but the thing is, too, the SEC sucked for a long time.
Not only that, but you were recruiting to Kentucky. Every kid wants to go play for Kentucky,
and now everybody's good, and he's out of touch a little bit. Seems like to me, especially offensively. Our offense is our half court offense is atrocious. It's atrocious.
How do you if you can't if you don't have a player that can hit a shot, how do you fix it? I mean, I watched them miss shots like point blank at the rim. I watched the whistle blow, and they're going to a foul shot, and Thero picks up the ball, and he's just going to like shoot a layup, you know, after the whistle had blown and everything.
They went 2 for 16.
Rolls off the rim
on layups. 2 for 16.
So you're telling your kids, listen, you know,
it got dark on you in there.
Yeah, I know it. It's like I don't know what happened. My light's on above me and everything. I don't know.
That's crazy.
But
anyway,
you tell your kids when you're not hitting from the outside, guys, we got to drive the ball. We got to get to the rim. All right. Well, now your guys are driving and getting to the rim. They still ain't making shots.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like the free throw disparity wasn't in our favor. We had 35 to I think they had like 17 or 18 free throws. So we actually got the majority of the calls. Dude. We shoot 100% from the line. We win this ball game.
Bro, we make 2 more 3-pointers, 3 free throws, and 1 2-pointer. We win the game.
Yeah.
It's that, you know, and that's, you know, I don't know. If I'm as a shooter, right? If I was a shooter and I get in a slump, right? The only way to get out of that slump is to get in the gym and shoot 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 and shoot. That's the only way to work yourself out of it.
I agree with you.
That I know of.
Are they not doing that?
I don't know. They talk about this stupid Noah machine all the time and tracking shots and all this stuff. Like, oh yeah, they should be better shooters. And then look at this.
See, I wonder sometimes if this isn't where the money ends up being a hindrance, because when you're in college and you're trying to make the NBA and you're not getting paid anything, you're in the gym every day shooting. when you got $100K sitting in the bank and you're driving around a Benz, why in the hell you want to go to the gym and shoot basketballs when you can be out showing off your Benz and doing something with your $100,000? I'm not sure. I think by paying these college players, you're taking away some of the drive and motivation that these kids have.
Yeah, I think so too. I saw a quote from you see Rick Barnes, what happened to him?
Yeah, he ended up benching one of his boys.
He benched his dude, said he had a play call for him to take a shot. He was open and he didn't take the shot. He set him on the bench, said, "Hey man, we pay you to take shots."
Yeah. If you're not going to do what you're paid to do, then I'm going to sit you over here and you can get paid sitting over here.
Brilliant.
It is brilliant.
Exactly what they need to do.
And it's not.
So anyway.
See, I feel like this is where they're going the wrong way with the NIL money. Instead of, I don't think they ought to hand any of these kids any money at all until the season's over. And then they ought to go through stats and say, okay, you did this, you're worth this much money. You did this, you're worth this much money.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't do crap. We ain't paying you nothing.
I think they ought to have to make their own money off their own name, image, and likeness and stop taking money from the university. It's ridiculous.
I don't know why the university is the middleman.
The
university should have nothing to do with the money whatsoever.
Anyway, here's the other games. Moving on from Arkansas because just disgusted with them right now. Freaking.
My biggest problem is I don't know who to be disgusted with. Do I get disgusted with the coach?
I'm disgusted with the whole thing right now.
Do I get disgusted with the players? You know, I saw Trevin out there. Trevin's out there working his butt off. He's yelling. He's talking. He's trying to be a team leader. Nobody's following him. How can you be a team leader if nobody wants to listen to you or follow you?
No. Yeah, I don't know, man. They got to turn it around somehow, dude. That's all I know. I saw a thing. Arkansas has been 0-3. Like out of the last 5 years, we've been 0-3, like 4 of those years or something like that. Something crazy. So it's not that we can't come out of it. And so it's an uphill battle. That's all. I mean, that's all I got to say.
I just don't feel like they play with the same intensity that some of the other teams play with. Like when you see Auburn's number 2 in the nation. When Auburn hits the court, Auburn plays with a sense of urgency and intensity like they're not number 2. Like they're the underdog in every game. And that's how you're supposed to play. Yeah. And I don't see that with Arkansas.
I don't
see
either.
This lackadaisical,
Yeah. I same thing. And Cal said that multiple times in his thing after the game was fight and passion and fight and passion. And then they interviewed Jonas Adu after the game, and he had some good stuff to say, man. But one of the things that he said was he mentioned fight and a couple different times. Like, what? I don't understand that as a competitor. I don't understand not fighting to win. I don't get that. I don't understand.
Well, you have some players that are fighting for their stats, and that's what they're fighting for is their stat line. They're not fighting for the team.
What does it matter if you lose, though? What's that matter?
Because it looks good when you go in the draft.
Well, who says you're going to get drafted if your team goes 0-30?
I'm with you, brother. And you can make – okay, I saw this. I think I might have put it in the show file. I don't know if I did or not, but – I saw a thing where they put Caleb Williams numbers for this year next to Jaden Daniels numbers for this year. The numbers are almost exactly the same. Completions, interceptions. Well, Jaden's will be better now since he's had a playoff game under his belt. But before the playoffs started, same yardage. Or close to the same yardage, same interceptions, same touchdowns, same rushing yards. One is considered a bust, Caleb Williams. One's considered probably rookie of the year because so your stat line doesn't mean crap at the end of the day. You know why there is a debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James on who's the GOAT, it's because they've both won multiple championships. They've both been to multiple playoffs. They've both done incredible things with their career, and it's got nothing to do with their stat line. It's got to do with winning. You know, the reason I put Jordan ahead of LeBron is 6 finals, 6 championships. Okay. Michael didn't go to a champion or to a finals without walking home with the crown. All right. LeBron's been to finals and lost finals. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying LeBron's not good. I also think it's unfair when they talk about the GOAT because I think it's more error than anything. You know, Michael didn't play against Wilt. He didn't play against LeBron. LeBron didn't play against Michael. He didn't play against Oscar Robertson. To say you're the greatest of all time, you don't even know what's coming in the future. There might be a kid show up in the future that crushes all of y'all.
Yeah.
So to call yourself the GOAT is pretty arrogant.
Pretty much. Here's your other scores from Saturday. Tennessee gets the win. Auburn gets a win, although Johnny Broom went down with the injury. I saw he's not going to have surgery, but he's going to be out a little bit. So that's a big loss for them.
But again, at South Carolina, and they still come out with the W, 66-63. They worked hard. They played hard. Even when their star goes down, they don't quit. There's no quit in them.
South Carolina should have won that game too, man. They with 9 seconds left, it was tied up, and South Carolina had 2 free throws. Missed them both free throws, and they went down and scored, and they had to foul them. South Carolina should have won that game. They did it to themselves. Alabama and A&M. Alabama went on the road and won. Like all these teams were going on the road and win. You know, Kentucky went on the road and won. Florida goes on the road and wins. Oklahoma gets beat by Georgia. Georgia was at home. Ole Miss was at home and they won. They beat LSU. And then Missouri was at home and they beat Vanderbilt. So pretty much played out like I thought it would. I mean, no major upsets.
Our next 2 ball games, even though they're on the road, they are winnable ball games. Okay.
I guess that Georgia game.
We got LSU at home. We got Missouri at home or at their place. I think we win, but something's got to change on our team.
Definitely. Got to have some different something's got to change for sure.
You know, maybe it's Brazil. I thought about this today too. Last year, our team fell apart, and all the rumors were, you know, Brazil and Devontae Davis and, you know, all that stuff that's none of my business. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
I've heard that.
And this year, the only common denominator is Trevin Brazil, and we suck still, and we're having problems becoming a team. So I don't know. Maybe we need to get rid of Brazil. I have no idea.
Maybe. Here's your the up-to-date net rankings as well. As you can see, Arkansas's dropped to 49th. Only ahead of LSU and South Carolina at this point. Ole Miss still is, I think, 3-0 now. Let me see who's the standings. I should have put a thing on that. Let's see here. SEC. So Auburn's 3-0, Alabama's 3-0, and Ole Miss is 3-0. And you got a whole bunch of them at 2-1. Vanderbilt is 1-2, and then you got Oklahoma, Arkansas, LSU, Texas, and South Carolina all 0-3.
I'm sure there's somewhere that is, you know, making an Arkansas fan feel better, but not this Arkansas fan.
Okay. 0-3. Anyway, there's your net rankings. And Yeah. So boom, that's all I got for you today, bro.
So we play tomorrow.
Yes, we play on Tuesday at like 8 or something.
Yeah, it's a late game. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe our
All
boys will be woke up.
All right, man. Before we get out of here,
If you have been watching Arkansas basketball and you feel like you might harm yourself or other people, please call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. They'll talk with you, they'll text with you, they'll video chat with you, a couple of
Yeah.
different languages. Just give them a call because you don't want to do life alone. And I know it's tough. It's tough when your team's struggling. I mean, it feels like nothing's going right for you. Just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, and I want you to say this to yourself. Baseball season's right around the corner. Okay. Baseball season is right around the corner.
Yeah. Other than sports, real life stuff gets in the way sometimes too. It can kick you down, beat you down. So just if you need somebody to talk to, you can call the national hotline, 988. Get some help. Don't do life alone. Tuck, man, what's up, bro? Anything else to talk about?
No, nothing
Man.
I can say on here.
All right. Well, I think my wife got a promotion today, so I think we're going to celebrate.
Sweet. Good
there
for
you go.
her, man. Good for her.
I know, right? She's excited. So
She went from French fries to work in the window.
yeah, something like that. No, she works with she works at a place where it's like a school. It's not a school. Well, it's like a school for children with disabilities.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean? It's not a school though. It's like a place where I don't know what you call it. They got counselors and that kind of stuff there. So she's not a counselor, but that's where she works.
Okay.
Helps those little kids. She's always buying stuff. Every time I go to Walmart, she's buying stuff, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" Oh, they'll pay me back. They'll pay me back. I'm like, she's always buying, toys or, oh, I need this. Oh, the kids will like this, or always buying something. So, I guess her meeting today went well, and she got promoted. So,
Sweet.
good for her. Yeah. So, anything else before we get out of here?
No, I'm gonna watch a football game tonight, and I think we're doing loaded baked potatoes tonight.
Nice.
I'll eat me a loaded baked potato and watch a football game, and hopefully it's competitive.
Okay. I agree.
What are we doing? What are we doing tomorrow? What is on tomorrow's agenda? I know we'll preview the Hog LSU game, which I'm really excited about.
I
Now with the playoffs going on, we're going to have to switch and talk a little bit NBA. We're going to have to eventually switch and talk a little bit of NBA.
I like the NBA. You're the one that don't want to talk NBA.
I'm trying to tell you, it's about time I started paying attention because we're going to have to start talking about it.
Okay. Well, Paulo's back in case you hadn't heard, and didn't skip a beat, so that's good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So
all right, yeah. Tomorrow will probably be. We'll do a basketball Tuesday. How about that? We'll go over all the SEC games tomorrow.
Okay.
And then we will. What do you want to talk about the NBA? What would you like to know? What do you want to learn about first?
Well, I haven't been watching all year, so we probably need to start with the standings because I don't even know who's at the top or at the bottom or anything like that.
Okay.
And then I don't know what else there is to talk about. I mean, I know Cleveland. I know Cleveland's kicking ass this year. With
Oklahoma City,
which is crazy because they don't. The big thing around the NBA was the big three. You go out, get your big three, and win you a championship. And Cleveland ain't got that. Cleveland's got like 5 regular dudes and Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell. And they got 2 pretty good big men.
Yeah. So
we'll see. We'll do some standings. I'll do some stat leaders for you.
Okay.
And then some news and notes maybe or something. We'll see. I'll look at it, man. But enjoy your Monday evening, and be careful out there tomorrow. And I will catch you later.
All right, man. Peace, brother.
Peace.
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.